I wake up from my sleep, immediately take my phone and scroll up, looking at the notifications tabs, checking my messages, checking what notifications I have in social media like Instagram, TikTok, the latest YouTube shorts, and then I press on one of them. I reply to my messages, and I press on another. I look at my social media, the new shorts, the new reels, the notifications I get, and it's an endless cycle. I end up doom scrolling for an hour, 2 hours, immediately after waking up. Before I brush my teeth, before I eat some breakfast, I'm sat there on the couch or my bed, looking at my phone, doom scrolling. That was how addicted I was to social media last time. And then throughout the day, I would instinctively pick up my phone and scroll up. You know, for iPhone, we have to scroll up in the lock screen to see the notification tabs, to see your new notifications. I would pick up my phone and habitually just scroll up to see the notifications, even if I didn't want to, even if I just wanted to like log into the phone and use something. And then I would end up looking at the notifications and engaging it instead of doing my actual task I had with my phone. At the end of the day, I had a really high screen time. I had a super strong phone dependency, and I was always depending on my phone for that crumb of instant gratification, that dopamine after dopamine from my reels, from my YouTube shorts, from TikTok. And I thought that I couldn't live without social media. I always had to have that gratification I get from the endless cycle of reels or whatever. Fast forward to now, I don't have any social media on my phone other than YouTube, but I don't use YouTube shorts. I don't doom scroll on YouTube. And in the morning, I'm out here in the garden, getting the sunlight I need, eating the frog of doing the hardest task of recording videos and editing videos. So how I overcame my addiction to social media. Firstly, I need to ingrain this super important aspect, which is the mindset change you need to have, which is progressive deloading. What is progressive deloading? We all know that to build a habit, right, it takes time. We need to build up to the habit. We can't just go from 0 to 100 overnight. Implementing this habit like every day, just overnight. You would still have like the laziness or the feeling of being uncomfortable or not familiar with this habit, right? So how we build a habit is that it takes days, weeks, months to finally ingrain it into our lifestyle, to finally be familiar with having this habit. And to see it in a graph, it's not 0 to 100 in one day, it's 0 to 100 over the span of a long period of time. And the same concept goes for destroying a bad habit or addiction. It doesn't go from 100 to 0 in one day or overnight. It takes weeks, months and years. 100 to 0 over this long period of time. And another problem we need to reframe or tackle is our ego. Because of ego, most people think that I can destroy this habit overnight, or I should be better than this, I should be good enough to just stop doing this habit because I theoretically know the consequences of this bad habit. Therefore, I'm disciplined enough to stop doing it after a day. But that's where most people fail. That's where most people end up like going back to the bad habit and addiction and doing it over again, giving up on like overcoming it. So the mindset change you need to have is that it's not a straight line, smooth graph, even if it's over a long period of time. There are ups and downs. Let's say from 100, you go to 99, then you go to 100, then 98, then 99, then 97, then 98. It's ups and downs. Lots of spikes, jagged spikes, like a stock graph, instead of one straight smooth line. But even though there's ups and downs, how to stay consistent is that you need to see it from a wider perspective. You need to take a step back. Instead of comparing day to day, I managed to stop this bad habit on this day, but then the next day I failed. I did a bad habit again. I doom scrolled first thing in the morning again. And then the next day I did it again. And then the following day I stopped. But then the next day I did it again. I doom scrolled in the morning. So this would screw up your brain, it will screw up your mentality. And you would think, oh, I keep failing even though I'm trying to stop this bad habit. And you would end up giving up. So to take a wider perspective is to not compare day to day, but to compare week to weeks. Week 1 to week 2, month 1 to month 2, year 1 to year 2. From a wider perspective, you can then see the ups and downs, but you see it in a gradual trend of going down, of decreasing, of stopping this bad habit. So with this mindset, which is the most important thing you have to take note, you can get rid of any addiction or bad habit. The second point of how I overcame my addiction is having a distraction for the distraction. When you want to remove the social media in your life, which takes up a lot of time in your life already, there would be this gap of time throughout your day. And in order to stay consistent with not having social media in your life, you need to fill up this extra gap in time with another activity, which is more fun, more enjoyable, more purposeful for you, something you are more passionate in, something which gives you more of the sense of dopamine than scrolling mindlessly on social media. Once you find this certain activity for you to fill up the gaps of your social media and to take over social media, it would take up a lot of time in your life and a lot of mental space. So you would be doing this activity most of the day and then thinking about this new activity for a lot of times. Instead of thinking, oh, I want to doom scroll, I need to check my notifications, I need to reply to people. And with this new distraction from your original distraction of social media, you would be able to easily overcome social media, easily forget about it, and obsess on your new activity. The next point is to substitute your time fillers. So what are time fillers? They are the activities you do in your free time, from your in your break from work or school or studying, when you commute to place on the bus or train. And normally you would pick up your phone, open social media during these times, right? You would doom scroll a bit, look at Reels, look at TikTok. But stop that. Substitute the time fillers with other activities which are not using your phone, which are not social media. Some examples which I use is listening to music but not using your phone. Then you can enjoy the scenery while you commute, or focus on listening on the music, enjoying the music, being present in your life, looking around, breathing in the air, being conscious of the environment and yourself. And after a while, after getting used to not using social media in your time fillers, your screen time would drastically decrease, because most of your screen time comes from these time fillers, from your free time, where you just pick up your phone to check notifications and end up using your phone for a longer period of time. Without social media in your time fillers, your addiction would naturally decrease. Your dependency on social media for that instant dopamine gratification would decrease and hopefully disappear. And the last point is, you still need discipline and willpower. The pretty unsexy truth about overcoming any addiction is, you still need to have the skill of discipline and willpower. You need to discipline yourself to not use social media, but instead substitute the time fillers with another activity. You need the discipline to schedule time for your new distraction, your new purpose, your new passion, instead of using social media. You need willpower to resist the urge of getting that crumb of instant gratification in the morning or your free time. You need the willpower to resist the habit of picking up your phone and scrolling up to see the notifications. Now, with all that, remember the consistency mindset of progressive deloading, which is the most important, the number one. And then find your new passion, your distraction from the distraction, and substitute your time fillers. Slowly you would naturally decrease your screen time, decrease your dependency on social media, and therefore your addiction. And try your best to train your discipline and willpower, which is not that hard, which is pretty easy and natural, which will come by through your plan and trust the plan. Okay, bye.